Hello everyone, my name is Vaishnavi Kadam and I am currently doing this internship at MRZ in the domain Embedded Systems. Uh, Now I'll be briefing you about what we have learned during this period of internship at MRZ. So let's start. Content studied here are we started with the basics of C programming and then we learned about embedded C programming, how to use C programming with embedded systems, the combination of that. Then about microcontroller and microprocessors. Then the embedded systems and interfacing, like the interfacing of microcontroller. And finally, we made a project for the as a end to mark as the end of our internship. That was the microwave oven project simulation, which will be explained later at the end of the slide, at the end of the part. So let's begin. In C programming, C, as we all know, C is a very common and basic programming language. It is used in system software development, embedded software development, OS kernel, file system development, etc. C supports functions that enables easy maintainability of code. It also breaks the large file into smaller modules. C is a very simple language. It is easy to learn. It has various data types, functions, keywords, conditional constructs which are used to build and solve the problem statement. Now, embedded C was a new thing to learn. When the conventional C language is used for programming of embedded system, it is referred to as embedded C. It directly manipulates the hardware and memory address. With this knowledge of programming, we can access the registers of the microcontroller and perform the given tasks. Alongside embedded C, we can use embedded C++, and there are various other languages. But here we prefer using embedded C. Now, the main part is about the microcontroller and microprocessor. As we all have a basic idea of what is a microcontroller and what is a microprocessor, here are some points to list the difference. Microcontroller is a single chip computer with all the peripherals like RAM, ROM, input output ports, timers, ADC on the same chip. Whereas microprocessors, a CPU is built on a single VLSI chip which is called microprocessor. It performs ALU operations and communicates with other devices connected with it. So for our project, we are going to use a microcontroller, which is a PIC microcontroller, and hence looking forward now towards the embedded systems. Whenever the word embedded systems comes to mind, the only thing which makes it more clear is, embedded system is the combination of hardware and software. In simple words, it is a combination which is intended to do a specific task. That is nothing but embedded system. This is the basic most definition which we all know. Now there are types of embedded systems. There are 4 types listed here: real-time, standalone, network, mobile. So yeah, uh, as we can see the diagram here in the photo, types of systems based upon performance and functional requirements. The other is based on the performance of the microcontrollers. The first 4 which have already been listed, and the other 4 which are based on the performance of the microcontroller are small scale, medium scale, and sophisticated. Now for the conduction of our final project, we need to install some softwares, which was these were the 2 softwares which we were supposed to install, that is the MPLab X IDE and QuickSim Lab. The XC8 was a compiler which was needed to be installed too. Now starting with the after installation, the basic most programming which comes was the LED programming, the toggling of LEDs. the basic LED toggling program connected to port B. The 8 LEDs which were connected to the port B were supposed to be toggled. We conducted out the experiment, and we could see the LEDs toggling. We need to build a hex file in MPLAB IXD software, and then Pixing Lab software is used to, like, the X file is loaded there and we can see the simulation on the board. As the usage of hardware by each student is fairly impossible in online sessions, so this was a great way of achieving that. We could see the output even when the hardware is absent. So yeah. Now talking about the design of the final project, modules in this project will be like, we need to interface the CLCD, which is a display, then the interfacing and working of a tactile key, and then interfacing of a timer. Now CLCD stands for character liquid crystal display, as you can see in the images, and it is used to display all ASCII characters and symbols. It has totally 16 interfacing lines. It has a built-in controller. It has its own RAM and ROM. D0 to D7 data lines. These can execute instruction and data. The RS register line, which is the select line. Whenever the RS value is 1, the data is being selected, and when it is 0, there's instruction. So as you can see in the second photo, there is interfacing of the LCD shown with the microcontroller. That is being explained here. Data is processed by two methods, delay and pole D7 method. R/W, that is read write register, when it is set to 1, it is read. When it is 0, it is write. In CLCD, D0 to D7 are connected to port D, and the RS and enable pin are connected to port E. Enable pin acts as an indicator by apprising LCD about the inception of data transmission by the microcontroller. These are the settings we need to do for the CLCD screen. Then coming to the tactile switch, this is a very important concept which we got to know through the internship while explanation. A tactile switch allows electricity to flow by manually pressing the operating section. As you can see here, the first two images are of tactile switch, and then these switches are important because we use a matrix keypad in our project, which is made up of these tactile switch. So yeah, a tactile switch activates when pressed and then turns off when released. This action is called momentary action and can be only performed at low voltage and low current. There are many different types of tactile switches used in a variety of applications, including household appliances, office equipment, commercial equipment, etc. So yeah, there's something called bouncing effect which takes place here. The diagram below shows the bouncing effect. There's a metal plate and terminal pulse detecting releasing the tactile switch is called bouncing effect. And then a matrix keypad used when more number of user inputs are required. That is what we are gonna do in our final project. It uses rows and columns concept, most commonly used in telephone, digital lockers and calculators. In the cooking mode, the matrix keypads are used to select the respective modes. As you can see, there are tactile switches, many switches connected, and then it gives rise to a matrix keypad, which we are gonna press while conducting our project. And the last part is the timers. There are three types of timers in PIC microcontroller: timer 0, 1, 2 and 3. Timer 0 is a 8-bit timer. There are various registers associated with timer 0 like TMR0, clock, source, select bit. It has GIE and TMR0I, which interrupts can be handled. If timer 0 has a bit GIE, if we set this bit to, it will enable all the interrupts. If timer 0 has bit TMR0IE, if we disable this bit, timer 0 interrupt will be disabled. GIE bit is common for all functions, whether main.c or timer.c. Whenever timer will count till FF, that is the hex value, that is the maximum value, the interrupt will occur and will automatically go to the ISR function, such that ISR function is never called until the count goes up to 0FF. The timer 0 is a 8-bit timer and it can count from 00 to FF. FF is nothing but the hex value, maximum value that it can go up to. And that is all for the explanation part of the whatever we have learned until now. The further part will be explained by my teammate Gaurav Pune. He'll be explaining you the working of our project and showing you the simulation. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Gaurav Pune. As my teammate Vaishnavi told us about the theory part of the project, here I am going to explain the practical part and the simulation part of the project. Now we will see the simulation of our project, that is microwave oven simulator using PixSimLab and PixSim ID. This is the MPLAB ID. In that we have implemented the code. I am showing the code on the screen. Firstly, when we build the code, project goes through the build and create a hex file, and that hex file we load in PixSimLab simulator. Here you can see the code is building, and here it is built successfully. After the successful build of the project in MPLAB IDE, in PixSimLab we have to select the board as a PixGenius and the microcontroller as a PIC16F877A. Then we have to load the hex file from our directories. After loading the hex file, the project is ready for further simulation. After turning on the microwave oven, we can see the four modes of the microwave oven. That is, first one is micro, second one is grill mode, third one is convection mode, and fourth one is the start. Now we will see all the four modes in the detail. For the selection of the modes, below here is the keypad. We can select the mode from the below. Let's select the first mode, that is micro mode. After selecting the micro mode, the power is 900 watt. Now after selecting the micro mode, here we can set the timer. First let's set the timer from the keyboard as a 20 seconds. We set the timer as 20 seconds. For starting the microwave oven, we press hash. After pressing the hash, the fan has started. This means the microwave oven has started. Here we can see three options: start, pause, and stop. For selection of this option, we have the keys 4, 5, 6 respectively. The timer is going on. Let's see what happens after the timer end. Here the timer is ended and it's showing time up. That means after end of the timer, the buzzer is on and we will be redirected to the first screen, that is cooking mode screen. Now let's select the mode as grill mode. The grill mode is similar as micro mode. Let's set the timer for 20 seconds. After setting the timer, we can enter hash key for the starting the microwave, and here is a clear key. We can clear our input. Let's clear it. After clearing, the 20 seconds has gone and we can set it as 50 seconds. After setting the timer as 50 seconds, let's press hash to start the microwave oven. The microwave oven has started, and after the 10 seconds the time will up and the micro buzzer will go on. This grill mode is similar to as micro mode. Let's see that third mode in the microwave oven, that is convection mode. For selecting the mode convection mode, we press 3. After pressing the 3, it is asking for a temperature that we have to set. Let's set the temperature as 100. After setting the temperature by entering hash, we start the microwave oven. After and starting the microwave oven in a convection mode, the preheating time is of 3 minutes. For these 3 minutes, we will wait, and after the ending of the, we will see. After the end of 3 minutes, that is 180 seconds, our microwave oven is at our set temperature, that is 100 degrees Celsius. After the end of the time, we will see the screen like this. Here we have to enter the time for how long our food is set on 100 degrees Celsius. Let's set the 10 seconds. After setting the time as 10 seconds, let's enter. Here we can see the timer has started, and we are seeing the three options: the start, pause and stop. After ending of the time, the buzzer will be get on. That means our food is ready. Now let's see the fourth mode, that is start mode. Start mode is an automatic mode in which there is a default time of 30 seconds. Let's try below option, that is start, pause and stop. Let's try the start option. After pressing the start option, we can see that the time is increased by 30 seconds. There is the same button for start and resume. Let's try to pause. After pressing the pause button, that is key number 5, we can see the timer is paused and fan is also stopped. Let's start the microwave oven by pressing 4. Here the microwave oven is started. Let's try to stop. After pressing the stop button, the microwave oven will redirect you to the first screen. Let's again start the mic. We will start the micro mode by pressing 1. After starting the micro mode, the power is shown and the timer is shown. We set as it 20 seconds. After setting the timer as 20 seconds, we will press hash to start the microwave oven. Let's see. After opening the door, that is buzzer should be on. The buzzer, the door is set default to the RB3 key. Let's press the RB3 key. Here we can see door status, that is open, is closed. After releasing the key, the door will be closed and the microwave oven will be started as it was before. Let's wait for the time up. After timeout, buzzer is on. We will be then redirected to the first screen. Thank you Emerzi for giving us such opportunity, and thanks to my teammates Pratiksha Phadale and Vaishnavi Kadam for their support.